Hello, everybody. It's Malcolm Watson here from Warfield in Berkshire in the UK on this cold but sunny day. I hope you're having a great week. I hope things have gone well for you. If you watched my Instagram, you would have seen I put an advert on about, do you want to know a secret? Well, today I'm going to reveal what that secret is. Like all secrets, it's no secret really, but keep listening because you never know. And the secret is about how you become attractive to other people, how you can improve yourself. Now, this isn't a dating Facebook Live, it's about how you can be attractive to other people in your business, in your life, in your personal life, and so on. So, there are lots of hi, those who are joining me, I really appreciate you. There are lots of ways. One of the things is your parents, what they teach you. And you may well know that they say your personality is actually formed in its basic sense by the age of 5, and after that you then change it. So what your parents teach you and then what you add on is so important in your life, and that's what makes people attractive or not attractive. And it's funny, really, different things attract different people, don't they? So I want to go through some of the things that I've got, like a code of conduct, if you like. And the first things one of the first things my parents taught me, and it's held me in good stead, is to sit up straight. Look successful. Look as if you really want to do business. Don't slump down. Don't look boring. Don't go with a silly voice. Just have some animation because it makes such a difference. It makes such a difference. Feel yourself as if you're already successful, whatever you want to be. Be that self-belief, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Look smart, feel smart, and you will be smart. The next thing is a phrase you will have heard. Again, I guess your parents may have said it. My parents certainly said it to me, is it's not what you say, it's the way that you say it. And this is so, so true. You can say yes and no in different ways. You can say I feel great in different ways. But it's what you say. So say it right the first time. If people say, how are you? Say, I'm great, thanks. How are you? Thanks for asking. Don't say, oh, not too bad, or could be better, or all things considered. Just give some welly to it. Just say you feel good. And there are ways of accepting other people gracefully, aren't there? Even if people have different views from you, you can actually say, yeah, well, okay. I respect that point of view. It's an interesting point of view. I tend to differ. I believe blah de blah, but I respect what you say. And there's ways of letting down people lightly, aren't there? Rather than saying, "Well, you're no good," or "You'll never be able to do that." Say, "Why don't you have a go? You'll never know if you don't try." Sorry if it's not for you. Keep in touch. You never know, things may change. So there are ways, it's the way that you say things. Always be inviting. Always be someone that the people will say, he's okay. I don't particularly want to work with him. I don't want to, but he's a nice guy. You might like him. And that's what you want. You want referrals. So always be good. Always leave somewhere with them or the place or the job or whatever feeling good about you. Never leave anything. It's like never sleep on an argument and all these sort of things. But always try and leave things so people might say, hey, do you know Malcolm? He's a good guy. Let's have him back. So it's good. And the other thing is, the next thing is you learn from others. Now there's two ways here, aren't there? You learn from some people that you don't want to behave like that. And you learn from others and say, yes, that's how I want to be. So let's talk about the positive side of it. You want to emulate people. So people who are successful, emulate what they do. We've all got heroes. If you've got a hero, look at the good side of that hero. Why is that person a hero to you? And emulate what they do. Learn from those who make mistakes and become better. You learn so much by making mistakes yourself, because if you don't try, you will never progress. And you also learn from other people who make mistakes and say, okay, well, I won't do that. I won't be able to do that again. Isn't hindsight a wonderful thing? That you know you shouldn't have done something, or whatever, but hindsight is there for you to learn. And remember that the first time's a mistake, the second time is a choice. So don't make the same mistakes again. Read books, listen to books, watch videos, look at the people who are successful. They are the ones that you want to be like. So emulate them, as I say. Watch how they dress, how they deport themselves, how they look, how they talk. All these things are important. As Jim Rohn said, study, practice and teach. In other words, find out, practice it yourself, get yourself better, and then teach others to do it as well. Study, practice, teach. It's a great mantra to have. One other thing, which is an interesting thing when you're trying to attract people, is where you stand. Now, we all have a circle, and we allow some people in that circle, the inner circle. We allow some people to the outer circle, and we don't allow some people in at all. But it's a really important thing. Everyone has a personal space, and you know and they know if you're in the wrong personal space. So until you know somebody, stay back. At the moment it's easy because we're all meant to stay 2 meters apart. So that's a good practice. Start at that. Then maybe you can come into a meter. And then, depending on what the situation is, you can become friends and you can help each other, and so on. I'm sure at some stage in the future we'll be able to shake hands, we'll be able to hug, or whatever. But you know what I mean by personal space. Each of us have come across people who you think, ooh, they're I'm not happy with them in this space. And I certainly used to teach my daughters and so on and say, you control your personal space, so you let in those people that you feel comfortable with. So that's very important. And the other thing is, from this, again, easy at the moment, is don't contact, visit people too much. Don't nag people. I get people all the time asking me, would you be interested in this? Are you open to this? And some, yes, I look at, and some I don't. But I always say to them, thank you very much indeed, but it's not for me. But if I hear of anyone, I will let you know. Or, yes, that sounds really interesting. I'd like to know. But take their answer as it's meant. If people say no, they mean no. If people don't want to know, they don't want to know. Now, that doesn't mean you just write people off. What I tend to do is, if I've spoken to someone and they've said no, I've taken it that they mean no at this moment. But I don't come back a couple of days later and give them something else. What it may be is wait a month and send them a message about something, about, hey, how are things going? Hope things are going well for you. And if people come back and say, well, actually, they're not at the moment, you say, well, do you remember we've spoken before? I might have something for you. Would you be interested? Just take a look. There's no pressure, but it may be of interest to you. If it's not, you may know someone it's of interest to. But don't pester people. Give them space, like I said before. Give them time as well. Now, on a totally different and butterfly thing, one of the things my parents taught me was that it's rude to eat too much at a meal and so on. But the reason I'm going to say eat before you eat is the fact that if you go to a meal eventually again and meeting people, or you're meeting contacts or whatever, if you eat something before, it means you're not so hungry. So you're not there eating away and ignoring people. You can take your time and speak to people and communicate with people, because communication is the basis of all relationships, whether it's your spouse, your family, your business, your friends, whatever. Communication is key, absolutely. So a little tip there. If you do go out and you go into a business, maybe have something to eat. I mean, some people drink water and so on, so they don't feel so hungry. But it's just a way. I like it. I think it's a really good, it's another thing that Jim Rohn I picked up was that, spend time at meals talking, not eating. And I'm not saying you starve or you don't eat anything, but you just do it. You just do it. Hey, Jenny, nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. So that's the important thing. And the final bit, really, in some ways, is what I call finishing school. Excuse me. And it's finishing school in inverted commas. Women have an advantage. They went to a finishing school that taught them how to listen. Now, men didn't go to that school. Men have to learn it. But it's the greatest thing. If you listen, you learn. If you talk, you let people realize what you know or what you don't know. So you listen much more than you talk. Listen, nod, engage, active listening. We all know about that, saying, yeah, that's good, yes. Oh, tell me more, and so on. So you get people talking, but listen, listen, listen. As I say, men have to learn it. We're not good listeners in general. Some of us are excellent, but maybe that's our feminine side. So remember that. Be someone who listens rather than someone who talks. Because the worst type of person is a boorish talker. So I've talked enough today. And I just want to summarize what I've said. If you want to be attractive, if you want to attract success, if you want to attract people to you, there are simple home truths that you need to do. Sit up, look presentable, look good, so that people like what they see, if you like. We've only got, all that we've got is this, but we can make the best of ourselves. Remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and that's really important. Always let people down gently, always have time for people, never write anybody off. Learn from the people that you want to be like, emulate them, pick up all the good habits and personalize them. Don't try and become the same person, but use their tricks, if you like, their ways, their deportment, whatever it is, and just learn from it. Remember, don't stand too close. Remember, don't contact too much. But, communication is absolutely vital. And that important thing about listening. Remember, if you want to be a finished person, you must be a good listener. And then the last bit, eat before you eat. You never know, it may help. So there we are. Many of those I picked up from my parents, some I've passed on from myself. But the secret of success is to be somebody that people like to talk to, like to meet, and look forward to meeting and talking with again. You can be that person. I hope this has helped you. So that's it. If you found it useful, please pass it on. Please show it to others, because we all learn by sharing. It's very important. I'm here every Thursday, 12:30 British Summer Time, 13:30 Central European Time. I hope you can join me. I also do a Monday live motivational 1 minute on a Monday. So again, have a look out for those. If you haven't seen them, they're on my timeline. Until then, thank you very much indeed for your time. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, look after yourself, stay safe, look after those you love and those who are important to you, and help everybody you can when you can. Malcolm Watson, One for One Goal, saying thank you and speak again soon.